Paul Cattermole.
I know, I think a lot of fans, S Club 7 fans, are probably just processing it all. And the thing with S Club 7, they appeal to the older music fans, you know, like... They spoke to a musical generation of the 90s and the 00s, and, you know, if you think of classics such as Reach, and, you know...
Very catchy little tunes.
It's so catchy, and I think a lot of people were looking forward to them reuniting as a seven-piece later this year for the tour that they announced, the 25th anniversary tour in October, which is 11-date tour across the UK and Ireland, and obviously now that's going to be marred due to Paul's passing, but I'm hoping that they still very much do continue with the tour in memory to him and as a tribute to him.
I hope they still call it S Club 7 and not just S Club.
Well, you know, because I think they still went by S Club 7 after he left in 2002. They still continued as a, you know, S Club 7 despite him leaving. So I think they won't change that name. It's the appeal of it, and it'll be hard for them to kind of not, you know, talk about him not being there anymore. But, you know, he did live a life which had a lot of emotional challenges after he left the band. You know, he faced bankruptcy. You know, he was trying to get on shows like I'm a Celebrity, and I remember he saying that the producers wouldn't let him on because they were saying he wasn't famous enough. And, you know, there's always that dark side of showbiz, you know, it's all the glitz and glamour, but once these people leave the limelight, they face really tough times. And I was actually looking forward to him more talking about his story and what he had been through, because this would have been his year of his big comeback.
Yeah, and I mean, he had to sell his Brit Award.
He did, he said he sold it in, I think, 2015 on eBay. He was like, bills need to be paid. And I think a lot of our viewers might remember that, you know, appearance on Loose Women where he had to borrow a shirt to be on there, and he was later on First Dates Hotel, and he was a bit emotional about that, but he left music to the side. It was in 2021 he actually started clairvoyancy, and where he was giving readings and he was asking for donations in order to exchange for a reading. So, you know, he was finding his path.
So you could actually go and have a clairvoyance reading by him?
Yeah, and he was exchanging it for donations. And but today I'm really feeling it for Hannah Spirit, because they were together for 5 years, and it was only this year they managed to put their differences aside, and they said they were going to go back on tour together. And so I can imagine she must be feeling quite devastated this morning.
I mean, I tell you what, it's been quite a ride for a lot of members. Obviously, Jo Amara had her own issues. Hannah has been in the paper recently
about her own
homeless. I mean, there's quite a few of them. I mean, Rachel Stevens did all right.
Yeah, she did. I think she's the only one that's managed to just, you know, stay steady during her career.
I mean, John had a West End career, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but... Again, when you've made your success through a band, especially during the 90s, you always tend to go back to the band because that's what people know and love you for. And when you try to leave that, it's a very hard road to kind of pave your own way and to have your own name in lights. And especially with a lot of these 90s bands, we hear of the horror stories they go through once they leave. But I'm hoping that there will be some positivity to this.
Well, yeah, let's hope so. At least it'll be well remembered.